because you do have money. I mean, how do you differentiate between the ones that want you and the ones that want what you can give them?
Yeah, you can ask me anything,
Okay, I just asked you.
man. Well, you really can't differentiate. It's very, very difficult to tell. And what I learned throughout the years is, well, so what? Just roll the dice. I think God has a plan for us all, and if she's the one that's meant to be, and that's what's going to happen. I think it's just going to be a gut feeling that I'll have. I just know that she's the one.
Feel like you're going to break a bunch of hearts when you decide to take the walk?
God, I hope not. I hope not.
How do you feel when, like this story that we're doing is like you're like the most sexy eligible bachelor in basketball? How does that make you feel?
When my sisters heard that, they just laughed. They just laughed at me like, Kobe, peanut head, get out of here. And I'm pretty much thinking the same thing. What the? Me? Just wanted to say, get out of here. But I mean, it's an honor. It's an honor. But I just don't. I don't see how people see me in that light. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Peanut head?
Peanut head. It's in my head shaped like a peanut. But I get it after my mother, so she calls me Peanut. It's all good.
Really? That's what you were called? Peanut?
Peanut. Peanut head. Hey.
What do you think I was asking you your best feature. What do you think the women think your best feature? Like when they're yelling at you, do they yell, "Show us your whatever"?
No, no, no. Hasn't got to that point yet. I think I'm gonna have to work on this physique. Get some bigger guns or something. You know, some bigger legs. My legs are pretty thin. But I don't know. They haven't yelled out anything at me yet, so it's a mystery to me.
What goes through your mind? You've seen yourself, I'm sure, on Sports Illustrated, but how about like
Uh,
on GQ?
wow, they sure knew. They sure did a hell of a job with the makeup and the costumes and the lighting, because the shoot came out pretty good. And as far as what I say when I see myself on it, what the hell am I doing on GQ? I mean, honestly, that's what I think. Cause all I do is play basketball. All I do is pick up a ball, put it in the hoop. So it's flattering, really.
Do you look at it and go, "Boy, that dude has a peanut head"?
My sisters do that for me. They'll never let me forget that. Never, never.
All right, let me go back to a couple of questions about music. Have you had any powerful people other than music executives in the business help you or guide you in music, like notable music names?
Indirectly, yes. Uh, I think Lauren Hill, because of her creativity, um, because of her willingness to not follow everybody else's path. She decided to follow her own heart, follow her own dream and her own visions, and that's what she chose to do. Um, as far as lyrically, there's a lot of good MCs in the past. I mean, from Nas to Biggie Smalls to Rest in Peace to Jay-Z, to other artists because of what they were able to do. And when you listen to rap songs, you listen to how they flip and bounce words on the track. It's just amazing to me. I really listen to them. They inspire me.
So you're involved in like every aspect of this production, right? The writing, the
Oh yeah, well the writing I pretty much did all of it, except for when you hear my friend Stephen Shills. When you hear him rhyme, he obviously wrote his own words. But everything else that you hear me say, I wrote. Uh, as far as the music, that's all flawless. That's all them.
how important is it for you to have Russell and Sean in this?
Very important because it's a family. It's not. It's not a job. It's not a business. It's not like, okay, I'll pay you this. You come in and do the music. It's just like we're brothers. Like I used to call them up 3 o'clock in the morning, during my first couple years in the NBA, and say, okay, I need to hear some music. Play some music for me. They'll play me a beat over the phone, and I'll write a verse or whatever. And that's how we do it. But it's very important because it's like a family atmosphere in here.
Tell us about the hand. How's the hand doing?
The hand's doing good. The hand's doing good. It's getting better quickly. As you can see, baby blue class. I change my colors like every other day. But the hand itself is getting better. A lot of swelling went down, and I'll be back on the court in no time.
Was it painful?
Not really. I mean, I broke it during the first quarter of the game. I just kept playing. I didn't think much of it. But, rest assured, like, certain parts during the game, I was like, like, what the? I looked at Shaq. I said, Shaq, I think I broke my hand. He's like, nah. Oh, yeah, you're probably right. It's just a sprain. Go get an x-ray. The thing is broke. So.
What's that like for you? Because, man, an injury can, be a call for the game.
I love to play so much. And I was used to playing whenever I wanted to play. And it felt like it was just taken from me all of a sudden. I really didn't know how to react. And it's like, it's a hard time just sitting down watching your teammates play and you can't get out there and help them. And you can't play. It's like, you kind of feel helpless. I just love playing basketball.
Are you excited about the new makeup of the team?
Very much so. We have an interesting combination because we have some very, very old players who were playing in the league when I was like 2 years old. Then we have very, very young players on the team. So it's an interesting combination, but I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to playing this season. And I'm looking forward to every practice, actually, because with every practice, you can see progress, you can see growth.
Okay, now do you change the color to match your stripes?
No, actually, that just happened. You know what? It was funny because when I got my cash changed, it was like baby blue. I was like, what color I'll take? I'll just take baby blue. They put baby blue on me. And so to get dressed today, I'm like, all right, what am I going to throw on? I said, okay, give me this. I was in the closet and I saw like baby blue shells. I said, all right, let me throw those on and see if I can coordinate a little bit. And it looks all right. So for those of you who don't know, it's like that. I mean, that's how we coordinate a little bit.
Only you coordinate your cast with your shoes.
Well, my sister taught me how to do that, so if you don't like it, you can blame it on her. It's not my fault.
Okay, an album title?
Visions. Visions is the name of the album, and the reason why I selected Visions, because everything, all the concepts that I had, are pretty much visions that I had when I was asleep. Since I was 6 years old, I went to sleep one night, woke up the next morning, and told my mother I wanted to skip college and go straight to the NBA and play for the Lakers. And it might seem strange to some people, but stuff like that actually happened. And I wanted to do a record. I wanted to do an album. I didn't know when, but I knew I wanted to do it. And this is back in the day when I was 7 years old. And for this all to be happening right now, it's a blessing. And that's why the name of the album is Visions.
And happening in a big way.
Yeah, very fortunate.
Okay, we're good.
Set to go?
Yep.
Access Hollywood?
Tell me when. Okay, Kobe, we're in the studio. Give us the scoop on what you're doing with your music.
Well, right now we're just working on finishing up the album. Just working on a project, a song called My Adidas, which is obvious what we're talking about. I don't know if you could see it. There it is, right there. 3 stripes. That's what we're working on, and we're just pretty much finishing up the album.
Describe the music.
Well, the music is different with every song because emotionally you go through different stages. So every song is not going to have the same vibe to it. It depends on where I was feeling at the particular moment whenever I created the song.
Tell us about, you really kind of get into a certain space before you go in and record. Tell us what's going through your mind when you're in there pacing and listening.
Well, today when I was in there pacing, I didn't have the verse written prior. So I just asked him to play the beat, and when I was pacing, I was just focusing and trying to write the song while I was in there pacing, so that's what I was doing. But sometimes, like, I'll just tell him to cut all the lights off, and the lights just be completely off. I'll just get in one of my zones. It's kind of like basketball. Sometimes you get in a zone, and it happens in the studio sometimes, and you just go in there and you just knock it out.
When's this album coming out?
February.
February?
Yes.
Now tell us, you have this is with Columbia?
Columbia, yes.
But you have your own record label as well, right?
KFE, Kobe Family Entertainment. It's actually a branch off of Columbia. So that's how we're doing it.
And who are you going to produce and release from that?
Well, actually, one of our producers that, I don't know if you've seen him early or not, but Flawless Productions, one of the guys actually an excellent singer. I mean, he can sing his behind off, so he'll probably be the first act coming off. And the other guy that was with him as well, his name is Steven Shields. He's an excellent rhymer, excellent rapper. So you can look for them.
Just tell me about the event tonight, why it's important for you.
Man, I mean, it's important because, I mean, it just keeps everything in perspective. I mean, you get to know who the real heroes are, from the doctors, down to the patients, and, just being blessed and showing our support.
How you feeling these days?
I feel good. I feel good. I'm getting and fighting for it.
Good, man. All right, thanks a lot.
All right.
What kind of hearing? Game and prepping for the game and going out there having fun and going off a little steam. Is it still important to get out there and have some fun, or is it just like?
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to get out there and you want to have fun. You want to enjoy the weekend. At the same time, when we come out here on the basketball court for the game, we want to make sure that we perform. Because the fans, they want to see you perform. They want to see you go out there and they want to see you do well. So, we owe it to them.
Now, in terms of the pressure to come with everybody brings out a special outfit or clothes or jewelry or something for All-Star Weekend. I mean, is it like that, or is it just sort of like let's just get dressed up normally for that?
I don't know. I try to stay G'd up personally.
Yeah. But do you get the sense that the other players sort of bring their A game when it comes to the weekend?
Yeah. Well, you know what? You gotta put a little extra spice on it. Just a little bit.
Cool. Thanks, man.
You got it, man.
How was it, Kobe? Kobe, how was it? You can't walk by me. Can't walk by me.
Talking to Oprah, man.
I know. I saw you.
It was incredible. It was incredible. Yeah.
You said you didn't know what to say to her. Did you figure out something?
Now, I was a little nervous. I didn't know what to say. But I'd spoken to her on the phone before, and that made me really, really jittery. But being here was an incredible opportunity to be with all these athletes. It was great.
And all the people out in the audience?
I know. I mean, the energy when we ran out, it was incredible.
We were very proud of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is it hard for being like such a complete athlete when you go out to eat? I mean, there's specific things you can only eat, I imagine, because I mean your career is your body.
Like the diet or something?
Yeah, I mean.
No, not really.
No?
No, not really. Well, yeah, I normally do. I'm probably not the flag bearer for being, like really careful about what you eat, but I just try to be mindful of it. That's all.
Now, at Philippe's here, what do you like to eat?
What's up, man? How you doing? See you, man. Thank you.
Let me know really quick. What are you making for Kobe tonight?
Oh, Kobe, I make a Peking duck and a Beijing chicken, cream shrimp. Yeah, this is Kobe flavor.
Is it really?
Yes.
So you didn't even have to pass.
Yeah, I live in New York. I see Kobe now go away.
Be the man. Let the man be the man, and I sit down and I just eat.
So he doesn't tell you how to play basketball. You don't
No,
tell
no, not at all. I come into a master's kitchen. I let the master be the master.
Let me ask you something. We also have an urban show. It's TV One Access, and we're doing a thing about Africa. Have you ever been?
I've never been. It's something that we've talked about doing. My daughter is she's extremely passionate about helping kids in Africa. So my wife and I have been talking about setting something up in her name that she can do, in terms of helping kids in Africa. That's something that she's very passionate about, but we've never been over there.
I know something that you're very passionate about too is your charity work.
Yeah.
Being a superstar and being well known all around the world. You also have a Kobe Bryant Foundation.
Right.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, we have the Kobe Vanessa Bryant Family Foundation, and what we just try to do is just try to help youth. It's one of the things that there are obviously a couple causes that we support, constantly, consistently. After school All-Stars program. My wife's, she's a big advocate of the St. Jude's, the children's program. But we also like to have just enough money built up in the account to be able to help causes that just pop up. You know what I mean? Like, we'll sit at home, watch the news, and all of a sudden you see a tragic story. We'll help that person out. This tragedy, earthquake that just took them out. So, we try to have a lot of flexibility.
Being married for a little while now, did you give any advice to Lamar? Because I know you and your wife were at the wedding.
Nah, not at all. No. A lot's happened.
A lot has happened.
A lot's happened.
Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you.
It's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
And then you have the Punies.
Yes.
Which I feel like bred out of conversations, observations with your girls.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Maybe even their little cousins.
Yeah.
Tell me, how did it happen for you? Because I would imagine a podcast was a natural fit, but not the first thought.
No, not the first thought. But it's like, as a parent, you try to figure out ways to teach your children without being preachy. Because like me, my kids just tune me out after a while. Yeah, Dad. Yeah, no, we know you gotta work hard. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Hit me with that.
Right.
And so you want to stay away from the yeah syndromes. And so I was inspired by The Sandlot.
I was inspired by the Peanuts, which are both family traditions for us. You know, 4th of
You-
July, we always watch the Sandlot. 4th
You're a
of July.
Sandlot?
4th of July, every 4th of July, barbecue burgers, watch the Sandlot.
What's
Then-
the line? Give me your go-to line. Do you
Uh,
have one? I'm putting you on the spot.
God, let's see. Yeah, I had a couple good ones.
Yeah.
The Great Bambino, the Sultan of SWAT, right? Yeah, but my wife hits me a lot with, she tells me all the time, she goes, "You're killing me, Smalls."
You're killing me,
Yeah,
Smalls.
she hits me with that all the time. If I try to take a picture, you know, I get, yo, take a picture, and I show the picture, she just looks, "You're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing me.
You're killing me, Smalls."
You get no play.
Yeah, no, zero. So Sandlot and then the Peanuts.
Okay.
And I was thinking, okay, well, we need some more content like that. We need sports content. And then when I watched the Peanuts, it was like, oh, I'm gonna just combine those two things. And I already had BB's character, BB LaBelle, already written out. I had created a bunch of short stories for her. And then I had Puny Pete written out, and I created a bunch of short stories for him as independent characters.
Right.
And then it just hit me just to put them together and create this series. And I was thinking like an animated series. But then it kind of struck me that podcast is probably the best space to do that because we can play to children's imaginations because it's something that, like in kids' content, everything is generally spelled out for them. You know, and we tend to go for really short form content because we believe kids don't have the attention span to sit there for long periods of time. And I just don't believe that to be true.
Yeah.
So I figured the best way to do that is to anchor it in sports.
Yeah.
Because even if you listen on the radio, right, if you have a character that you're kind of connected with already, we got to do that quickly, right? And then you say, okay, it's the bottom of the 9th inning, you know, 2 outs, man on third.
They can see it.
Done. Got you. You want to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the hook. And you have 2 announcers that are the lens into the world. They're providing all the details. They're setting the stakes, and they're banter back and forth. And that's how it came to be.
And so, at any point were you like, I'm Kobe Bryant, basketball legend, now podcast producer? I mean, were you ever like, is this me? Or were you like, nah, let's try it and let's...
No, because I've always been a kid at heart. Like, always. You know, Disney, Harry Potter. I mean, I've always been a kid at heart. And I think it's important to not lose that. I mean, we spoke to that a lot at Dear Basketball with Glenn and John Williams, is that the hardest thing we can do as people is, as we grow older, to protect and to keep that childlike innocence.
Yeah.
We have to fight for that. And I still have a childlike imagination, man. So I was really, really excited. My biggest fear was like, man, I hope this thing doesn't suck, man. Because it's like when you play sports, you play basketball.
I hope
it's like,
this thing doesn't suck.
Seriously, like you play basketball, the ball goes in a hoop, you either win or you don't. Right? Like
it's no objectivity.
Yes, man.
Right,
so
you win
with
or you
this,
don't.
I'm sitting there and I'm laughing. I'm like, am I the only one that's gonna be laughing at this stuff? Like this.
Did you play it for your girls? Did you play it?
I did, and they loved it, right? And so
Okay.
I was like, oh, I feel better. And I go down, lay down, to go to sleep at night. I'm like,
Did they gas me up though?
maybe they're the only ones that are gonna enjoy it though. Man, I gotta go back and check it again. Let me re-edit. And I'm looking, I say, no, I think this is okay.
Right.
Is it? Nah, this is the best we can do. So just send it out.
So what did the Emmy, did the Oscar, did that give you some confidence? I would imagine that would give you
No.
some. None?
No, because every project's new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, we do Dear Basketball, and now here you're on to the next project, and what we did in Dear Basketball can't help you here.
Right.
Like,
No, yeah, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it becomes even worse. All right, you won an Oscar, but this podcast is trash, man.
Maybe
Like,
you
this
should stick to the animated shorts.
Yeah, just do that. you
Right.
know? Yeah.
Well, I know you got a book coming out, Mamba Mentality.
Yeah.
The Mamba Mentality, where you talk about your approach, your training, your thought mentality in basketball.
Yeah.
But the Mamba Mentality kind of started like a hashtag,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, just for fun.
How did that become now? Like, I mean, it's like an alter ego. It's like an extension
Yeah,
of you.
Yeah, social media, man. It's just kind of, they took it and just ran with it. And it became something a lot bigger than I ever anticipated it being in terms of somewhat of an ideology of how to live.
Yeah.
And constant curiosity. And
How would you define Mamba?
well, Mamba himself, the character for Mamba was to help me get into character for when I played basketball. You know, because there's a difference between Kobe the person and then Kobe when I was performing. You know, at home I can be a human jungle gym with my kids and be a teddy bear, but now when I step into Staples Center, I gotta lock in. right? And the Mamba mentality became something of a philosophy to live by. Like, in everything that you do, be present.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing at this moment is the most important thing I'm doing at this moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
When you have that understanding, you create things with great care.
Yeah.
When you create things with great care, they tend to have great quality.
Kobe, your whole energy just shifted
Yeah.
when I mentioned Mamba. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause then I think about, I mean, what you say is serious for you. That's not
Yeah.
just something that's not a character you're putting on. That's not
No.
a sales gimmick. Like, that's actually, just to mention that for you, you hold your energy in
Yeah.
a different space. You talk different, the whole deal.
Yeah, no, it's I lock in, you know,
Yeah.
and it's certainly there for us. Like, when I played, it was there. But even now, you get into the studio, we get into writing, we get to editing, it's the same shift.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention to every little beat, you know, the space between words, right? What's the rhythm? What's the cadence of the podcast, right? And you got to go back and review things over and over, see, make sure things on the ear aren't catching. If something's catching, oh, something's wrong, something's
Right.
wrong. So every little beat, when the music starts, when it ends, you know, every little cue, and that's what Mamba mentality is to really approach things with great care.
You surprised me in the book. I mean, you go from, everything from your relationships to refs and conversations and your approach there to tap dancing
Yeah.
to help with the ankle injury.
Yes.
First, for folks that don't know, tap dancing,
Yeah, tap dancing. I still have my tap dance shoes.
I bet you do.
I do. But it's important to think outside the box,
Yeah.
right? There are a lot of things in different disciplines and different industries that we can utilize and we can learn from, right? It's important to not limit ourselves, not limit our ability to learn.
Yeah.
And so I was having severe ankle trouble. I mean, this is after the Indiana finals, so my ankle was tore to shreds. And so the conventional way of strengthening the ankle was fine, but it was only hitting the maximum areas. It wasn't hitting the little intrinsic muscles in the feet that I needed to work on. And I was doing research and tap dance. I was like, tap dancing. That's the best way to strengthen your feet.
Yeah, because
Right.
why wouldn't you think tap?
Well, I
why
mean,
would-
you know,
yeah.
it's
No,
research. I sit at home and I obsessively research about this stuff, and I'm like,
You
oh,
say,
tap
"I'm gonna
dancing
take
is
up
the
tap. I'm
way."
good.
That was it. And so
Did
I took
anybody
up
look at
tap.
you like, or they
Well-
already know once you're in that zone?
Well, no, because that wasn't really known about me back then. 'Cause I was only 22 years old.
Right.
So when I went into the dance studio and I had my tap dancer shoes, there's all these like little kids, like 10-year-old kids. And like, Mom, he's really tall. He goes, that's Kobe Bryant. What is he doing? Are you tap dancing? I'm like, I'm tap dancing.
I'm tap dancing.
You know how to tap dance? I said, I didn't say that.
I'm here to learn.
I didn't say that, but
You're
I'm
here to do
here to
something.
learn. I'm here to learn. Just like everybody here, I'm here to learn. But those little 10-year-old kids were like, and I was like,
I'm saying. Tap, but tap, but
it was
tap.
the most frustrating thing ever. Because mentally, I'm telling myself, okay, my feet are going to do this. And my feet were going, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
No, we're not doing none of
No,
that.
we're not doing that.
It's funny because I think right now a lot of people, everybody is talking about it, especially basketball. When you bring LeBron to Hollywood,
Yeah.
you've got now LeBron, Kobe, Space Jam 2. How do we get you cameo something in Space Jam 2? Like, wouldn't that be like iconic? Would you
Man.
thought I was talking about something else?
No, listen.
Would you think I was talking about something else?
No. Space Jam is that's a great, segue there, man. I gotta be honest, man. Being in front of the camera for me was something that never excited me.
Really?
Never.
Not even like an icon. I remember Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, Jam,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's a music video though.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm not doing films. I'm not doing film. Now I'll direct it.
You'd be interested in that?
Well, no, I wouldn't. But that was something I would think about doing.
Really?
Yeah, but being in front of the camera is something I would never.
Okay, so since you brought it up, something you would think about doing, ever possible to get you back on that court? Ever possible to get you back on that court at the Lakers?
Listen, man, Rob Pelinka is my guy.
Uh-huh.
He's Gianna's godfather. He used to ask me all the time, just tease me, because he knows it's just never going to happen. I'm really comfortable in what I'm doing. Like, I control my own schedule.
Yeah.
We create fun podcasts, animated series, a slew of new novels coming out next year.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of fun stuff happening. and I can control my own schedule. I can coach my daughter. I can be present at all of my eldest daughter's volleyball games. I drop them off in the morning. I pick them up in the afternoon. So zero. I have no inclination and no desire to play basketball. Just none.
So now when you see Tiger or Serena or Tom Brady, you're like, that's good, I'm good.
No, what I think of is like, man, that's a great story.
Ah,
Yeah.
I'm with. So you're automatic. You go director mind now.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at. I'm like, maybe we should talk about something.
Yeah.
We should talk about something. The basketball gene, I've completely and fully passed off to Gianna. She's got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all her now.
I know you got to go, but do you freak out at her games? Because I know that you're also a coach.
Yeah, I coach. No, I don't freak out. I mean, she
when
works
you see
really,
her
really
playing
hard.
well.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, man, she works, man. I mean, they practice 2 hours a day, and she's like fully committed. Her and her teammates as well. I mean, really, really committed to playing. So I enjoy watching them play. It's fun because you get to see the growth, like when they first started and now being able to like just dribble the ball and walk at the same time, to now like grasping really complicated concepts and just reading and reacting on their own. I mean, it's fun to watch them grow, man.
Yeah. Okay, I need you to give me. There's a phrase I've heard in Italian. Just make it quick.
Okay.
A phrase I've heard in Italian, and I can't get the pronunciation right.
Okay.
But it's never say never.
Okay.
How do you say never in Italian?
Depends what part you're in.
Any part. You're most.
Mai dire mai.
Mai dire mai.
Mai dire mai.
Mai, and that means what?
Never say never.
Cool.
Yeah, mai dire mai.
I appreciate you.
Oh, man, that's what I'm here for.
You're the man. Nah, I just need you to know. Hold on, no, it's not really. We're about to roll Never Say Never as the promo for everything.
Mai dire mai.
You're the man. No, I appreciate you. You're the
Very
man.
welcome.